lot of times we justify not doing something by fear, and I don't like to operate in fear. I would rather operate on success and going for it. And I think those are the kind of people that really change the world. I started when I was 15 years old, and my mom had went and scraped together what money she could to buy me my first real mountain bike. And every time I rode my bike, it was like an escape from the world, because everything else, all your worries, just kind of melt away. I was riding at a bike park, it was just a simple freak accident, probably 15-foot drop to my head onto another wooden board. So, it was a square hit. I remember catching the log with my chainring and then the bike flipping, and I don't remember the impact. You're like, where am I? What am I doing? Why is this happening? And what's going on? After that, I would just break out in this immense pain, and I didn't know what was happening, and it was migraines caused by traumatic brain injuries. I was driving my car, and I would start to have these big emotional swings, because what it does is it changes your chemical balance in your brain, so then it affects things like your speech pattern or your emotional stability. So even now, I find myself, and I don't know how this is going to affect me in the future, I've always been the person to try to protect other people. So when it came to creating a bicycle helmet company, it was a fit with my personality and my core values. It started out as an idea in my introduction to entrepreneurship class with Dr. Dawn Deteen. You want something tough, but you want it to give in a controlled fashion in order to absorb the energy to hopefully reduce concussions. I had worked a few jobs, but I never felt myself being fulfilled with them. So I was working in factories. I did cable installation, basic electrician type stuff, which I had learned as a satellite technician in the Marines. I had applied to a couple of different colleges. I had gone down and toured CU's campus, and it just didn't fit me. And then when I came to CSU, I didn't feel out of place. I'm married, got a house and a dog, and I've been around the world twice. I've gone into combat zones, and I wasn't looking for this standard education. I wasn't looking for someone to talk at me. I was looking for professors to engage and talk with me. And I think that's what really made CSU a good fit for me. And that's very important when you're trying to learn, is do you feel like an outsider who's just here attending to get a degree, or are you invested in the programs? Too often we try to make ourselves fit a position that we don't fit, and it ultimately, ends up bad. There are a lot of different things that have taken place in my life that have kind of shaped who I am and what I'm going to do with it. I grew up all across the country. I'd probably moved 10 or 15 times before the age of 18. Was very unstable, to say the least. If you would have told me I had started 2 businesses after exiting college, I would have told you you're crazy. It was not a vision that I had at that very moment. My vision was survival. How do I get through this? And I think all too often we're confronted by that, where our scope is very limited, that we can't realize what's actually in front of us. It has to be about the goal, and mine's protecting people, because we're putting ourselves in extreme risk. We're going faster than we ever have before. We're jumping higher. We're going further, and I don't want to slow down that progression, but I want to help people maintain safety while they pursue their passion. what is really important to you? It's got to be more than just money. It's got to be, what do you want to do with your life? And I think once you start finding out what's really important to you and who you are, I think that's when you can really start shaping your life and what's going to be your mark on this world.